Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making the Perler Bead Gumball machine. All you'll need for this craft is your choice of Perler beads. I'm going to use red for the body of the machine. You could use blue, pink, purple, black, whatever color you want. A Perler bead board. I'm going to use clear, and I prefer you get one of the bigger ones just so it'll be easier to make the gumball machine on. Rainbow Perler beads. I'm gonna make rainbow gumballs, and you can make all solid one color or whatever color you'd like. Some clear Perler beads, some gray Perler beads, and one black Perler bead. So the first step to making the gumball machine is, so you start with your red, I'm gonna use red. And you just place it about, I don't know, right here in the bottom corner or so. And you add, and you keep going all the way until you've reached 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beads for the bottom. So 4, 5. Yeah, it's better if you use a toothpick, but I like to use my hands to make it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The next step is on your outside layer. You don't put a bead here. You put one right here. So up one and over one. And you add 2 on each side. That way you'll have enough room for these 3. And I'm going to go ahead and add those 3 in. And then this is where you'll use your one black bead. Right there in the middle. And then add another gray one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the over the top right there. So I've gone ahead and picked out all my colored beads. And if you want to go ahead and do that, you can go ahead and do that. Now we will add the rest of the red Perler beads right in here. So let's see, we go up 1, 2, 3 more times. I do that on both sides. Come back. These are so hard to hold on to. 2, 3. Actually add one more row. There you go, that's the outside. And then go ahead and put all the rest to make the outside box. And then you fill in the rest of the space with red, except for this one right here. And now that you've added in all those red, you put the one last gray bead right there in the center. And I'm actually going to use a toothpick now. Oh my gosh. The struggle is real. And here. So if you ever do need to remove a bead, or you don't like, let's just say you put 2 blue right beside each other, which I don't like to do that. You can just stick the toothpick right in the center of the bead and then pick it up just like that. Put that back. And now we'll move on to make the rainbow gumball beads in there. So I'm just going to pick out a few of these fluorescent neon beads, and mine are actually sort of clear. You can sort of see through them. At this one I use solid colors that aren't neon or see-through. Use whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. I don't like to put 2 beads of the same color right beside each other. I just don't like that. So I'm just going to start sticking those beads in there with the toothpick. And so you stay within the red right now, and then we'll move out in a second. So I finished my bottom row of gumballs, and this is actually red. It might not appear red to you, but this is red and then pink beside it. I didn't put two together. No worries. And on your second row of gumballs, you add, so you do all of the, come here, you do from here to here again, but you go out one space. Right here, so you go up one and then over to the right once, and that's how far you'll go out on the next layer. I'm actually going to try something, so I'm going to get some of my beads and just put them on the toothpick, and then I can just drop them on there when I'm ready. Can't have any of the same color. There we go. Get a few more. Come here, orange. Let's try this rainbow toothpick out, and then, okay. Slide there. No! Okay, come back. Get these back on here. Maybe that's not going to work out. What if I put my thumb or my finger on the next one? It works. Oh, nope, no two same color. Okay, let's see. I'll put this yellow one out there on the outside, and then just drop that pink. And that is our second row of gumballs, and this one floating around. And now we'll move on to the third row, and it'll be exactly the same as the second row. It's just like you copied and pasted the second row right here. Stays in the same boundaries. And there you have it. That's the third row of perler beads. And if you ever get behind in the video, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and catch up with me. Sorry, I had to do that. So now we'll do our fourth row of gumballs. It goes the same as the first row, right from here to here. And there you have it, our fourth row of beads, of gumballs, yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, gotta take these two off. Wasn't paying attention. Now we'll do the fifth row of beads, and it's just gonna be, oh, come here, this just center 3 right here, and you leave these 2 off. Here we are. Our last row of gumballs, and now we're going to do the clear glass around the outside of the gumballs. Trade out these. So you can barely see these things. So I'm going to start by simply picking up the bead. I'm going to go ahead and put all these on one toothpick, just in a row. This is about as much as the toothpick could fit. And here we go. So you put one right down here between the second and first row. And you go up one and then over one to the right. And set that down. Do that 3 times. And then you go over once. Go beside your third one. And then go up one more time. And go over to the left, and then up one more time. And then add this last bead right here. And then I'll get more beads on the toothpick. So you add it right beside, right here, and so you make like a 4 square. And you go over to the other side to have a grand total of 7 top row beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Okay. This is a struggle. I think that's one too many. There we go. Now you'll add some more clear beads. That one just decided to come off. You make that square and basically reflect this side to that side. I'm going to do this with my hands now because this toothpick isn't working out. So up 3, over 1 to the right, and then up 1 more. And that's the glass of your gumball jar. And the last step to building, well, not the last, but the last step to creating your gumball machine is to add the cap. So you don't start on the very end clear bead, you go in one and then you put one there. And you do that to the other spot on the other side. I'll get another red bead. Let's see. Oh, got one. And you add 3 more on the top. And there you have it. You're finished building your gumball machine, and the next step is to iron it. So to iron your perler beads, you don't just put the iron flat on. You have to get a piece of special wax paper made for the perler beads. I'm not sure if you have to have a certain kind, but I'm going to use a kind that came in this gigantic perler bead pack. You can get this from Hobby Lobby, and it's 11,000 pieces. Yeah, this still isn't 11,000 pieces because I made a bunch of perler beads. But I like to put my hand in the perler bead jar and run it around, and it feels so cool. It's like a massage. It's a free massage. Yeah. If you ever have the chance to just simply run your fingers through a bunch of perler beads, do it. The sea of beads. So now I have to wait for the iron to heat up. So all you have to do, you don't have to have water for this, I don't think. So let me go check. Good, you don't have to put water in the iron for this. You're not ironing clothes here. So just gonna let that heat up. Someday I need to go through and count these. Just get a new one of these and see if there's actually 11,000 beads in there. I think I'd be here all day doing that. So I do sort my perler beads out in little KFC containers. Oop, I just dumped some of those clear ones out. And this is, it says reusable, and I actually do reuse these, so let me get a cap. So this is just really small. We're done with you. We don't need you anymore. Okay. Super small, but it's not too little. It's not too big. But the ones that I do have more of, I do have in these bigger containers. Here, let me put the caps. These are the bigger ones. And I don't have all my perler beads separated out, obviously. But I do have like all the reds in this container and all the oranges in this and so on and so forth. And I do have a glitter bucket. I'm going to show you that. Here it is. My favorite beads. They're beautiful. It's almost like a mermaid tail. Just those colors. And they're all sparkly. And there are sparkly beads in here. If you buy a tub of these, sparkly ones do come. So this is a sparkly one. Yeah, I went through and picked out most of the sparkly ones in here because there's just, I can be making a turtle and the shell's green and I'll put sparkly one in there, and after I iron I'll be like, shoot. I'm just going to talk while the iron is heating up. So I do want to warn you that you have to be super careful with these perler beads. And the transition from where you're making it to the stove. That's where we iron it. We just set it on the stove and then iron from there. If you bump this the littlest bit, like just thump it, it'll go flying and your masterpiece is ruined. You can always redo it, but I have multiple stories of times when I've done that. And when they go flying on the floor, the world has ended. Here's a piece of perler bead iron paper wax stuff. So you can reuse this as long as you don't scorch it. Yeah, I've done something that had to do with black beads on here. So, iron. Come on. Just getting there. It's like loading. So just right quick while the iron is loading, I'm going to show you some of my perler beads that I've made and that I actually might do tutorials on. So these are just a few examples. Little simple, quick ones. Here's a rainbow. And all these are about like in the same size range. And then we have a chocolate Pop-Tart. I could so eat this. And American flag heart. Now we're at the ironing station, and I recommend that you do have an adult help you with the ironing, and if you are a kid, do not do it by yourself. So you set the iron paper on there, and make sure you don't move it around, just set it flat on there, and then you start ironing. So just hold it on there still, and don't smash it, but don't keep it too light on there. So while you're ironing your gumball machine, make sure you don't tilt the iron so you don't melt the pegs that were unused, like around the corners of the square that we used. Because if you tilt the iron, that could actually ruin your perler bead pegboard.
This is where you're going to peel off the wax paper once it cools a little bit.
Peel it slow, don't jerk it off.
Then we're going to flip the whole thing over.
Now you put your wax paper back on once you flipped it off, and you can leave the pegboard out now. And you start ironing again. And here is the flattened gumball machine. So now you remove the wax paper slowly. Congratulations, you made it through the quest of building a perler bead gumball machine. And if you like, and if it starts curling just a little bit, you can set it under pots and pans. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't ever miss a single video. So enjoy looking at your beautiful gumball machine. Goodbye.